Hey there, it's mattyfu. Just gonna do my what sold in October of 2017 on ebay.ca video. This is actually the second time I'll be running through this. I had my settings screwed up for the first time, so if my voice goes halfway through, that's why. So here we'll get her started with, we have a HMCS Athabascan trucker hat. I picked this up for like $1 at a thrift store. It's a pretty plain trucker hat, but it is for a Canadian Navy destroyer. So I started it pretty high, $24, and after a few months I would mark it down. So I probably had this up for over 6 months, I'd guess, and it finally sold for $16 plus shipping. It had some interest before where people would say, "Oh, will you take $15 shipped to Ontario?" It's no, that's not really possible with the shipping options in Canada. Sorry, and so finally got it down to a price where someone was willing to buy it. So that was pretty good. Here we have a Canon lens soft pouch. You can't totally tell from the pictures, but it's kind of a nice faux suede, the gray part. I picked up, I think it was 2 or 3 lens cases. This was probably the lowest value of the ones I picked up. I think I paid $2 or $3 for this one. Sold it for $15 plus shipping. That was from a thrift store. And so here we have International Harvester belt buckle. There's lots of people who like a nice belt buckle. This one's kind of extra nice because International Harvester makes farming equipment. I think they make trucking equipment as well, so it's kind of a bonus. So yeah, I paid, I think it was $2 or $3 for this belt buckle at I think it was at a thrift store too, and it sold for $19 plus shipping. And here we have a Fender dad hat. It's in okay condition. It's not like perfect. Kind of around the brim, it's a bit worn. It's not like sweat stained. It's just worn, just because of the way it's made, I guess. So yeah, I bought this one for $1. Whenever there's like a hat bin where it's just like a single price for as many hats as you want, I'll go through and look for anything interesting. So this is one I picked out for $1, and it sold for $19 plus shipping. Here we have one that has a bit of a story. So this is a like egg timer that someone put into a old-timey spool from like knitting or something. So I just thought it looked cool. It had nice wear on it, and it's also like a usable thing, so I thought it would do well. This is one of the first things I listed on eBay, so close to a year old, I guess. And this thing was always in the way when I would go to like grab inventory to ship out or whatever. And it's glass, right? Like the center part is glass, so I was always scared I was gonna break it. And so at some point I changed it to free shipping within Canada, which for the price that it is was a little bit risky, and it did not did not work out super well for me. Someone in, I think it was Prince Edward Island, bought it, and I'm in BC, so basically exact opposite sides of the country. And to send it to them tracked packet, I think it was for like this really small item, I think it was like $17, and so they bought it for $19 shipped, and I probably lost a couple bucks. But I don't have to worry about breaking it anymore, so I guess there's that. This one has a story as well. This is a vintage Jeep service manual from 1974. Does like most of the Jeep models, so the CJ5, CJ6, Cherokee, Wagoneer. This is the sort of thing that would have sat in a service shop for when they had a problem that they weren't too sure about. So I've had this for a number of years, just kicking around, and I finally got around to listing it, and it turns out it's worth a pretty good amount of money. So I listed it on the lower side of what people were selling them for. So I went $59 plus shipping. What happened was I think I did a good job of packaging this, and it was just bad luck. The book got damaged in transit, and I think I actually know when it got damaged. I think it was actually when I put it in the mail slot. It just happened to fall right on its corner, right on the bottom corner, and the spine, the like glue in the spine had dried up, and so it just like broke apart because it was brittle. And so it got to the guy, and it was in really rough shape, and he said, "Hey, this isn't what it looked like in the listing." And I said, he sent pictures, and I said, "You're right, that's not how I sent it out. It was damaged in transit, so here's what I can offer you. You can send it back on my dime, and you'll get a full refund. Or if you still have a use for it in the damaged condition it's in, I'm willing to adjust. I'm willing to refund you so that it's a price that reflects the condition you received it in." And so I offered him a refund of $50. So he would have got the book for $10 plus shipping. He said, "You know what, I get it. Stuff happens. I wish it would stop happening to me, but it happens, and so here's my counter offer." He said, "How about you give me a refund of $20? So a way less refund than I'd offered. But the problem I have is that because I use a prepaid Visa to do my transactions on eBay, when people try and refund it through PayPal, it never gets to me. And so this was an older gentleman, and he wasn't willing to fight with PayPal or whatever on previous transactions that went wrong for him. And so basically people would refund him stuff and it would never get to him. And so he asked to send a what's it called? A money order. And so if you follow any of the like eBay forums, money order and stuff like that is a total like red flag for scams and stuff. But at this point, like, I had a pretty good idea of who this person was, who the buyer was, and everything checked out. And so I just said, whatever, I'll risk it. And so I sent him a $20 postal money order for refund, and he was happy. He left good feedback, and it all worked out well. So not everyone is out to get you. Okay, so next we have, this is 6 blank tapes, Fujifilm ones. I picked these up from the Habitat for Humanity Restore. They sell all their VHSs for 50 cents, including the blank ones. So this was $3, and I sold them for $25 plus shipping. These ones I couldn't normally blank VHS. I'll do on Amazon, just because it's fast and easy for me. These ones, for whatever reason, are restricted, so threw them up on eBay, and they sold, I think it was a couple weeks. Like, it was really quick. So yeah, nice little flip. Here we have a Rusk wide barrel curling iron. This is something I don't know when I started picking these up, but I sell curling irons fairly regular. I look for ones that are abnormal. So this one has a really wide barrel, and so it had that, and it has a adjustable heat setting. So I know those were kind of features that people would be looking for. Rusk is not a professional brand or anything. I really don't know what a good brand is for curling irons. So yeah, I picked it up for, I think it was like $5 and sold it for $24 plus shipping. So pretty good. I did test it out too before. So here we have a old Nikon Coolpix digital camera. It's only 4 megapixels, so it's pretty old. The nice thing about this particular model is that it takes standard batteries, AA's, and a normal SD card. So people buy them just to have in their car or to give to their kid. So I got this camera for, it was like $2 or $3 at a garage sale. Tested it out, works good. Took pictures of it, like all 12. Never showed any accessories because none of them come with it because it doesn't need them. And so I sold it, and then it went to someone with 0 feedback on eBay. And after the sale was all gone through and they got it, they sent me a kind of a grumpy email about, they assumed that it would have come with rechargeable batteries and a battery charger and a USB cable. And basically, if someone contacts me outside of eBay, I didn't respond to them. I just said, you know what, I accept refunds, but I'm not gonna start communicating outside of eBay with someone, especially when they're just being grumpy. So I ignored them, and I haven't heard from them since. So it's a bummer that they're unsatisfied, but the thing they're unsatisfied about is ridiculous. So okay, here we have a Dodge Challenger travel mug. I got this for $1 at a local thrift store here. It's pretty cool looking. I figured someone who had that kind of vehicle would pick it up, or a friend to give to them. I thought it was brand new when I got it. Well, it was brand new. It had the a piece of paper saying, don't spill hot coffee on yourself or whatever. But it has kind of weird imperfections around the rim that kind of looks like flaky plastic. So I disclosed that in the description, and it kind of hurt the value, and it got lots of views, but it took a long time to sell. So that was probably due to the condition. So yeah, got it for $1, sold it for $12 after probably 4 months or so. Here we have a old-timey, no, that's not fair, late 80s, early 90s video color corrector. So this was for editing your home movies, adding titles and whatnot. Mostly it's for the color correcting. So that's kind of, if you had a video camera and it didn't do well in certain lighting conditions, this would allow you to adjust it to make it look a bit nicer. I got this for, I think it was $12 at a thrift store, and I sold it for $39 plus shipping. Here we have a pair of Adidas Superstar shoes. They're smaller in size, so they're actually youth shoes, but they fit, youth shoes have quite a bit of crossover with women's size, so this is kind of a twofer. So yeah, these are cool. They're white and pink, and I picked them up for $8. They were a bit dirty, but it cleaned up super easy. It was just like a Lysol wipe, cleaned the tops perfectly, and then the bottoms, I just soaked them in a half inch of OxyClean in hot water, and they came out like nearly brand new looking. So pretty nice. So $8, sold them for $39 plus shipping. This was my big home run this month. Probably my most profitable flip in a very long time. This is a Roland TR606 drum machine. It's the little brother to the Roland 808, which you can hear reference in lots of pop songs. Kanye West talks about it. So these are used for making drum beats. I tested this one out as best as I could. I'm not an expert on drum machines, but I was able to play around with the beats and change the different sounds and stuff and confirm that the output worked. So I just put all that in the notes, and I listed it in the evening or afternoon, I'd say, and it sold in the evening, so within 5 or 6 hours. I listed it lower than most of the other listings because it has a bit of cosmetic damage near the volume knob. It's got a deep scratch, and the bottom has some scratches as well. But still, I picked it up for $15 at a thrift store, which is crazy. And I sold it for $480 plus shipping. And it was purchased by someone in Australia. And because I packaged it so much, I had to do an upgraded shipping that I paid the difference for. So that was an extra 30 or 40 bucks that came out of my cut, but totally worth it. And they end up getting it way faster because I upgraded it to Express Post. The other cool thing on this one was I just had this case kicking around. I hadn't listed it yet. It's actually meant for electrical testing equipment. Fluke makes multimeters and stuff. So I had this really nice kind of faux leather case, and this thing fits in it perfectly. There's enough room to throw your cables next to it. It's got a little strap that goes over it and a carry strap. So that worked out perfect because the actual Roland, it's a really crappy vinyl case that this originally came with, or could be purchased separately. I'm not sure. It sells for $100. So to have it with this nicer soft case, I think helped move it quickly. So yeah, that was amazing. It hasn't reached its destination yet, so there's always that worry that it's going to get there and they're going to be unsatisfied and it's going to tie up your PayPal account and all that. But I'm pretty confident that they'll be happy as long as it doesn't get destroyed in transit. So fingers crossed. Okay, here we have a Minnesota Vikings purple corduroy vintage trucker hat. This one I think I paid $5 for at a in a little antique store. I sold it for $24 plus shipping. That's pretty good for, it's not a good brand name of sports cap. So I'm pretty happy with that. It had a few it had a few little weird things where the seam is separating and stuff. So yeah, I was pretty happy with that, making $20 off of that one. Here we have a Zoku ice cream maker. It's kind of a novelty kitchen product. It's basically just a metal bowl that sits in a plastic bowl. Put the metal bowl in your freezer, then you put some cream and sugar and flavoring, and you have a spoon and swirl it around and make ice cream that way. Yeah, so think I paid $4 for this one. I had it quite a bit more. I think I started it at like $29, and as it got closer to the end of summer, I really dropped the price down because I didn't want to have it sitting for the whole winter. So sold for $19, so made a bit of money on that one. This one was cool. I just shipped this out today. This is a SmithCorona 10-day touch typing course. It has really cool graphics. Kind of mid-century looking stuff. This, I actually sold it to someone in Singapore. I think that's the country. And they paid a small fortune for shipping. So it was like they paid $60 to get this to them. And so yeah, $60 for a $20 item. But it's cool. You know, they're it seems like they're a hi-fi audio collector, and so I'm assuming it's for their collect. So yeah, it's 5 records. They're all in really good shape, plus a booklet. So yeah, pretty cool one. I picked this up for $1 at a local thrift store, and so sold for $19 plus shipping, and yeah, they paid $60 for the shipping. So kind of crazy. Hoping they don't try and return it, because I would just eat the cost at that point. But here we have a pair of 2-inch webbing suspenders by Coonies. I think that's how you say it. These are like construction suspenders. You can use them for your pants, but nobody does. So these I picked up for $1 at a local thrift store, and I have had them for quite a while. And yeah, finally they sent me a message. I originally had them up for $14, and I dropped them down to $12 and then $10. And so today someone sent me a message and said, are you accepting offers on this item? And so, you know, you roll your eyes and go, oh my god, it's $10, come on. And so I sent them a message back and said, I'm not accepting offers on this, but I did just lower the price to $8 if that's kind of in the area of what you were thinking. And so they bought it, and they're happy, so I'm happy too. So yeah, $1 to $8. I try not to have stuff that's that cheap in my store. It's just it doesn't really pay for the time to take the pictures and ship it out and everything. But sometimes you just gotta get rid of stuff. So I was happy to get rid of this one. It really showed no signs of movement. So when someone messages you, it's because they're interested. So I managed to make the sale and get rid of it. So I'm happy. Alright, thanks for watching. If you'd like to keep updated with these and my other little videos, I've got some stuff I've been working on to throw up on the channel. Just subscribe. You'll get a little notice whenever something shows up. Thanks for watching.